You know that person in your life who just can't stand mayo? Call them traumatized. Call them closed-minded. We get it. They're stuck in their ways. But here's the thing. They just haven't tried Hellmann's flavored mayo. We're talking bold flavors that will flip even the biggest skeptics. Spicy mayo that adds the perfect kick to your burger. Garlic aioli that transforms ordinary fries into something extraordinary. Chipotle mayo that turns your basic wrap into a smoky sensation. So to all the mayo haters out there, yes, we're looking at you. It's time to eat your words. Because with mayo this flavorful, any hater is just a mayo lover waiting to be convinced. Hellmann's flavored mayo. Get ready to eat your words.
This new year, why not let Audible expand your life by listening? Explore over 1 million audiobooks, podcasts, and exclusive Audible originals that'll inspire and motivate you. Tap into your well-being with advice and insight from leading professionals and experts on better health, relationships, career, finance, investing, and more. Maybe you want to kick a bad habit or start a good one. If you're interested in learning how to master your emotions and hearing scientifically backed advice for using your emotions as a tool, may I suggest Shift by psychologist and bestseller author Dr. Ethan Kross? Trust me, listening on Audible can help you reach the goals you set for yourself. Start listening today when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
The amazing Kate Casey.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with KKC. I got to tell you, I'm starting your week off with a bang. Chris DeRosa is back with me, and we have the most funny episode about the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleader show. Remember a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, Chris came on. He had only watched maybe an episode and a half of the season. There are like 6 episodes per season. So he has done the great work of watching the rest of the season, and he has a lot of opinions and observations. And I think that you truly may find yourself throwing your phone across the room because you're laughing so hard. Also, we have some insight into the new Golden Bachelor. Here's what you guys need to know. He's 66. He is a former college football player and probably wants to remind you of it every 3 minutes. He played in the NFL for, 7 years or something, and now he's a lawyer. So we're already kind of figuring out what kind of archetype we've got going on. He made some comments on a podcast last week with reference to the making of the show and who they were casting for him, and people got fired up. And I think you will too. So we discussed this. I also need to make sure that you are watching a show that I put on my What to Watch list. It's called The McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys. This airs on Bravo and Peacock. And it covers the ongoing saga of the McBee family as they strive to rescue their farm and cattle ranch from financial ruin. I really think it's a sleeper hit for you guys. A lot of you have had a bit of Real Housewives fatigue, and I get it. This is something new to add to your week, and I think you're going to like it. Also, make sure you look for next week's must-watch list because there is an upcoming Idaho murders documentary that you will want to watch as well, and I will be interviewing the team behind that. So keep tabs on that What to Watch list at katecasey.substack.com. Go to it. Plug in your email. You're going to get it in your inbox every Monday. You do not want to miss out on things, so make sure you are on that list. And also, make sure you check out my bonus episodes this week. I've got a whole episode about the Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos wedding, relationship, etc. Break it down for you. And you can get that on Apple Podcasts, but also on Patreon. As always, make sure that you are in the Facebook group too, Reality Life with KKC. I've got some fantastic guests and episodes coming up this week, and you do not want to miss. So make sure you are subscribed to the podcast so you get new ones in your queue. And tell everybody in your life, especially this week when you go to a 4th of July party and you're kind of like kicking it with people. So what have you been up to lately? Well, I can tell you, I've been listening to this podcast. It's literally life-changing, and it's going to be for you as well. So I'm so grateful, everyone, for all of the DMs, all of the notes that you send me about what you think about the shows that I'm recommending, and also the interviews that I've been doing. I get such a kick out of it. So I want to make sure that you're prepared to laugh so hard. Here is my interview with Chris DeRosa. Chris, I have something to talk to you about. Before we get into the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders, I've been asked, I need to address something with you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's the Golden Bachelor.
Yes.
Okay, it's another season. His name's Mel. He's 66. He's a former NFL player turned lawyer. He lives here in Orange County. I believe he lives in my town. Played college football, University of Michigan, followed by 9-year NFL career as a linebacker with the Los Angeles Rams. Okay, he went on a podcast for University of Michigan earlier this month, and he opened up about what he was looking for in a woman on the show, which again is set to premiere this fall.
I saw this. Go ahead, keep going.
He explained that while going through the casting process, producers asked him, "What's your preferences?" And so he said, 45 to 60, just being honest. Again, I would like to note he is 66 years old. When he was chosen as the lead, he recounted having lunch with an executive producer on the show, telling him, "If they're 60 or over, I'm cutting them," while also noting, "This is not the Silver Bachelor, this is the Golden Bachelor." The executive producer goes, "But they're going to be hot. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And he goes, "You can't use the word cut." I go, "Well, that's an NFL term." He continued the conversation with the executive producer, adding that he had no say in the women chosen for his season. On top of the age parameters, they've got to be fit.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I
I'm
stay
already mad.
I know. On top of the age parameters, they've got to be fit because I stay in shape and work out and stuff. And I told them to try to stay away from the artificial hips and the wigs. Wow.
The artificial hips. What's that?
Like somebody who can't move around because they got a
someone
hip.
that like had to get their hip replaced.
Or a wig because, God, wait, what if the wig is like they went through, some sort of cancer treatment?
This guy sounds like a fucking asshole.
Okay, so back at headquarters, because you work in reality TV, are they flipping out?
Well, here's the thing, is like this conversation should be had way before he's casted as the person. Do you know what I'm saying? When you hear already that he's like, "No, I really want like some 40-year-old like wanting on her second marriage and is a gold digger to like literally pull a Lauren Sanchez on my penis." That's what he's looking for, and which is fine. You know what I mean? Not nothing wrong with me. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong in my book. But like the whole point of the show is that it's like he's just like looking for love. Like how do we watch any of these scenes, which is every fucking time you come back from commercial break on this godforsaken show, where they like are like, "I'm just looking for my loving girl. Like I'm looking for like my lady that's gonna be with me forever." And for that to know that that's not true. He's like, "I'm looking for a 45-year-old woman and I'm going to be like banging her all the time." That's what he is looking for.
Right.
Period. Which again, sure. But like that does not the Golden Bachelor make. And this again is why these shows, the Bachelor franchise does not work because it's just from the outset, it is a lie. Period. Is it not correct?
Yeah,
right?
Correct.
Is that it's like they're casting this person who then you're force feeding us to believe is like looking for someone his age to settle down within the golden years of his life. And he's absolutely just told the whole world that he's not wanting to do that.
So are they scrambling they probably already started filming. Are they scrambling in terms of media strategy?
But
like, how do we soften this dude?
I don't know.
Or are they like, well, it's already in the can.
I mean, he
we
also
just gotta
shouldn't
dive in.
Also, how is he going on this podcast without?
Oh, great point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is he? What's happening with that?
Well, because it's the M Go Blue podcast with John Jansen, so it's probably his buddy.
No, sure, but like they're really tight-lipped there.
No, I know they are.
Like I've like DM'd. Remember when I like DM'd Susan and was like, "Will you come on my show?" She was like, "Yeah, but it has to be like after November. I literally can't do any press until this time because of like whatever it was." Like it was like they're tight. They're like it's ABC. Like they're
right.
So like what's up? This is weird. It's weird to me.
First problem for me is that they recruited somebody from Newport Beach, California. And I'm going to tell you why.
Well, P.S. 45 to 60 and all this, no artificial hips. That's, yes, your neighborhood, is it not?
A 66-year-old gentleman in this town, let me just set the landscape. It's a sea of veneers. It's dudes that are on human growth hormone who drive luxury cars. They think that they should be with a 25-year-old girl. Yes. And sometimes they are, because the 25-year-old girl is like, you know what? Like, I don't have a lot of...
I know, if only I was...
I don't have a lot of plans, and this guy is going to take me on a trip around the world.
No, and guess what I don't want to do? Pay for anything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I have to like have sex with an old man. Like, sure.
And then they go home to their friends and they laugh about it. And then
and they're
this
like,
guy,
look at this Cartier watch that I just got that he bought me that I can then sell later for $40,000. You know what I mean? Whenever we break up. Yeah.
and pay off my credit card bill.
Smart. P.S.
But
Smart.
The 66-year-old guy who is an attorney who played in the NFL still believes that he is that 28-year-old dreamboat, and he's not. But the joke is on him, but he has no idea.
I've seen photo when I read this little article. I mean, as an article, as in like an Instagram post of a headline, and there was a picture of him on it on like people.com or Us Weekly, one of them on their Instagram. I was like, does he have lips? Like what's like he?
Oh yeah, you're going to be
I
so
get if
selective
he's like
about women
and like hot.
Let's take
you know
down,
what I'm saying?
right.
Like, but like a hot older man that's like really buff and like I was like, does he have a face? Like who is this? Gretchen Rossi in a filter? You know what I mean? I was like, what's happening here? So
also understand, ladies of the world, that when you are about to be on a show with him, let alone at this same restaurant than he is, your conversations will all be about when he played football at University of Michigan and the Los Angeles Rams.
1,000,000%. Some pass he intercepted in 1985 that we couldn't give two shits about. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what your whole conversation is going to be about. This guy does not care about you or anybody. I think he has children from another marriage, which always means men of that age group don't want to get married. They're sick and tired of paying some sort of fee to their ex-wife.
They want to bang the hot waitress hostess at some really nice steakhouse. That's what they want to do.
Yeah, who's if you give me a Kate Spade bag, we're good.
Let them do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, let them just go bang, get their Cialis up and running, and just go to town. You know what I mean? Like, it's I do whatever you want, but like what you don't do is then go on the Golden Bachelor and be like, I'm looking for my and this is just the de facto of the show is like, I'm just looking for like the love of my life.
Right. And let's be honest, the Golden Bachelor, the key viewing demographic is probably over 50. So the good women of over 50 population are not going to spend 3 seconds watching the show because they're already enraged.
No, and they're like, look at this pig. Yeah. Literal.
Wow. So that was a big update this week.
Yeah, that's big. That's rough. Like, I mean, you have to be freaking, rough. Right? You're freaking. Like,
if you're on the publicity team for that show, I would like to take you out for a drink. If you're in Newport Beach because you have to go see this loser, stop by my house.
Yeah, can you go talk to him and be like, what the hell's wrong with you?
I would like to. Oh, give me 5 minutes.
But also then cast those women. But that's the point is that they're all old. Like, that's the whole point of it is it's the Golden Bachelor. I'm thinking, because I'm like, cast people that are 45, who cares? And then I'm like, no, but the show won't be as fun.
Oh my God, what if they make a Bachelor adjacent show where it's a bunch of women between 30 and 35 and they set them up with these 66-year-old men? And these 66-year-old men think this is a real opportunity for romance.
Yeah, and
the
it's fake.
30-year-old women,
and it's a joke.
It's fake, and they're like eviscerating these losers.
No, I'm in the interview. Yeah, they're like, yeah, it's basically Cat House, my favorite show of all time, where they're like, and then you'll buy me this. And the guy's like, yeah, baby. Like, I'm disgusting.
I think you take them down to a track and say, you have to run sprints. And if you don't make it under this time, then we can't go on a date. And I'm going to be wearing a bikini on that date.
Yeah. And literally, like a string bikini, with see-through nipples. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like disgusting.
Yeah. Put them in these physical and mental challenges that will remind them that they're 66 years old and they have no business dating someone who's 30.
Well, this is the other funny part is like that that they're all gonna like every single one of the women is gonna be like 60 and like body be banging but you know what I mean? They're all gonna be like
amazing,
fitness, like Pilates instructors that like have incredible bodies, and he's still gonna be disgusted with all of them, which is the funniest part. He really wants to be with a 45-year-old.
Yeah, because he's still living in the glory days. That's why he went to the University of Michigan podcast, because he's like, I mean, of course they're gonna want to talk to me. Meanwhile, there have been thousands of football players that have come after him.
Yeah, he's not famous at all. Anyway.
Well, also because Michigan had a really good team last year. So now someone like him is like,
trying to get back on the bandwagon. Yeah,
totally. Let me remind everybody that I played there in 1962.
Speaking of people that are famous.
Yeah.
Our girls.
Oh my God. They went on a long PR tour. Jimmy Fallon, Today's Show.
And then like Jada's there and like Armani, and like they're not on it anymore. You know what I mean? It's like funny to have them come back in their uniforms for press when that's like against the creed.
Do you think
to
that
just have them do, their own
Totally.
little thing,
Do you think that there was a PR team that was like, you're going to look bad if you don't include them in PR?
Well, and that's also about them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the show's about Armani and Jada and Charlie and Kelly.
Well, Kelly was
With
on
why?
a lot of those PR trips. So what do you think's happening behind the scenes? Talking about glory days? Like, is everything okay?
I don't know. Oh, you mean Kelly and Judy? Well, Kelly, it is also about Kelly and Judy. So it's
no, I mean with Jada. Do you think Jada enjoys being around Kelly?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she's taking her lap of
luxury.
And I will get there, but like, I don't think that Kelly and Judy were like not wanting them to get paid more money.
I agree with you. I don't think it was up to them at all. I think they couldn't say it.
Yeah.
By the way, these people are horrible.
Allowed.
We know it. Yes.
Yes. They can't say that. And they definitely can't say it on camera. You know what I mean? They definitely, and then like when the women pushed back, they were then able to be like, listen, the girl, like, I actually think Kelly and Judy probably secured it for them. So I actually don't think, but they can't be like, why don't we just pay them more money for no reason at all? Like, of course they can't do that.
Well, on this podcast in the first season, we both said, we bet you that Judy and Kelly have been paid in, sprinkles.
Nothing. Yes.
So they wanted to get like some sort of raise too.
No, they are like, if they're going to pay this, we should get a raise. Yeah.
Yeah. So they
we get all the hate. P.S. We get all the hate. So give us more money, which I'm like, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. They get all the hate. Charlotte Jones, is she responsible for this, or is it really down to her weird husband? Is it really about her weird dad, Jerry?
But the dad isn't doing anything. The dad's just there and is like smoking a cigar and not, like he's not. It's like
he's really the worst.
The mouthpiece of her dad. Know what I'm saying?
By the way, he's such a jerk. He probably is like, well, it's a girl thing, so you can talk about girl things.
No, legitimately. Like legitimately, 100%. Yeah. Like there's no doubt in my mind that that's not what that is, 100%. But I think it's just like the business. It's like a company, you know what I mean? So it's like, yes, it's Charlotte, whatever her name is, Jones, but like, it is what it is. Does that make sense?
Well, then I was like, in the last year since this has aired, do you think that everywhere he goes, people bring up the pay thing, or does he just live a life of isolation? Like he's almost got like a Popemobile where he just travels. He's not around people.
I don't think he's around people.
So then Charlotte has to put up with it.
Yeah, but does she even really have to do? I mean, she comes out to be like, "You are here's the team," and that's it. And then we never see her again.
Right. Well, remember we were really fired up about the ragtag group of judges.
Yeah.
I still think we could be judges.
I want to just go in that room. I don't even need to be a judge, but even when there's nothing in it and there's like the chairs are like, whenever like in a banquet hall, they have the chairs like stacked up to the ceiling and they're like falling over. Like that's what it could be. It's just like the chairs all stacked up to the ceiling and like that floor isn't even there. And it's just a room of carpet and then those weird like crystal lights. And I just want to go in there and just walk around and just.
I would prefer if that scene was shot dimly lit. Stack of chairs in the corner and you're just silently standing next to the stack of chairs, but you don't say one word.
And like touching it, like, you know what I mean? Like reaching a hand out into the abyss and then pulling it back. Like that's like truly.
Turn around.
No, like literally the end of Gypsy when she turns around at the very end and reaches back out to the audience of like, I could have had fame and then just like pulls it back in and then walks off into darkness. Like that's like what we could do.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, pay equity movement was a big theme of this season. They were fighting for fair compensation, led by veterans Jada and Armani, who are the real heroes of the show and deserve all of the awards and accolades that they deserve. It culminated in a record-setting 400% pay increase for future cheerleaders. From what I've read, that means that they get like $75 an hour. So let's think about that.
Which is like good. Like that's for an hourly job, I was like, good.
No, right? I know, but that was a 400% pay increase. So let's think about what they were being paid before.
No, they were literally going to make like $15.
I mean,
wait, hold on.
Please, sir, may I have more?
Let me just run the numbers really quick.
Abysmal. Like, oh, and by the way, have a full-time job, be in total shape, don't have 1 ounce of fat. By the way, the good women who have been DMing me very fired up about all of the scenes where they have to get the costumes put on. I mean, the fabric is atrocious. It's not flattering for anyone's body. Can we like reshape the pattern? They need a pattern update. They need to get a Jessica McClintock pattern maker in.
Yeah.
And redo those. I mean, there's not one person who can really wear that without, because even if you're like green bean pole, like skinny, it looks saggy in the back because of the costume, the way that it's cut. if you have any sort of curve, it's tight and it looks weird. It looks like you just had a baby. You can't win. There's no body type where you can win with that.
No.
And then the way they're like,
they're not changing the outfits.
Women are just like really celebrating the women. Like, wow, that's great. You lost so much weight. Now you can finally look good in this outfit. Also, another thing people wondered when they talked about, well, you get all these, great things that come with the job.
Oh God,
free Botox and
that like
it
was like when the NASCAR cars come in and like have to get the wheels changed in like 2 seconds and then they go off. What is it? And they come into pit row. That's what it's called. That's what that was like, oh, do you need a tune up for like anything that you need? Like spray tanning, face, hair, everything.
But they're also
your nails.
Like, you need a tune up even if you were like completely.
They're like, get your little car into that pit row because it's time to, you need an oil change if you know what I mean.
I know, but you know who's not being mentioned in that group? I bet you they have got like an Ozempic injector on staff.
100%.
Because they are way too lean or a lot leaner than they were last season. Like there's not a curve in that group at all.
Well, it's so funny because, whenever they're like, okay, like, is this your normal weight? Like whenever they're like, and they're not saying it in a
crazy.
It's horrible, but they literally mean to ask it because they're like,
do you need some shots?
Are you starving yourself for this? And now when you stop doing that, you're going to gain 5 pounds and then this won't fit you anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Well, do you think also
it's like
that
a covert way to hear? It's a covert way for them to be like, are you eating or not? Do you know what I mean?
Like, is this the real situation that we're dealing with? Or do we have to do like a lot of nip and tuck to make you look
But not even,
viable?
I think weirdly it's a way for them to like ask them about their eating habits. Because remember remember last season, they were like, are you nourishing yourself? Like they didn't say, are you eating? They would say, are you nourishing yourself? They go to
ChatGPT and they're like, how many ways can you ask about their eating? But
because I'm sure as we know from last season, it's rampant that they all have eating disorders, like obviously, because they can't. And I wonder if they can't change I wonder if they don't have the money, as in like they're not allotted the money to do alterations on the costumes when they fit them.
I mean, times are changing, man.
Which is horrific. Like
horrific.
This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. No matter how hot your summer gets, Liquid IV can help keep you hydrated for the adventures ahead. This summer, I'm traveling with my son Jack for lacrosse tournaments. Hot, blazing, sunny afternoons. There is nothing that tastes as good and keeps you as hydrated as Liquid IV. I just tear, pour, and enjoy. And I'm calling out to all of you parents who will also be watching your athletes this summer. This is a game changer. The sugar-free options include white peach, lemon lime, rainbow sherbet, and the new Arctic raspberry. But they've also got cotton candy or popsicle firecracker. Just 1 stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, and always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. Squeeze the most out of your summer with Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code KateCasey at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code KateCasey at liquidiv.com.
There's some incredible TV coming out of the UK right now. Brits just do it differently. The accents, the wit, the scenery, the devastating one-liners disguised as compliments. It's all streaming on BritBox. They have the best mysteries, dramas, comedies, and seriously addicting originals like Outrageous, based on the true story of the Mitford sisters. They were kind of like the Kardashians of the 1930s, wealthy, audacious, chaotic, wildly opinionated, and always making headlines. And chances are you've never heard their story. It's stunning. It's jaw-dropping. It's very British. So check out Outrageous. It could be your next favorite. Don't miss Outrageous, streaming now only on BritBox.
There's probably a sense of relief now because of the Ozempic years. When the 15, there are people that have sent me clips of years before on the old show where they're like, girl, you got to do something about your stomach. And you look at the girl and it's like fat. A flat stomach.
Like, literally.
Like, what are they supposed to do?
You and I would sell our souls to the devil to look like this. And truly, they're like, you're disgusting. Like, you fat cow. Yeah.
Yes. Well, what was the original pay?
The pay, seemingly, if I'm doing my math correct, was like $18 an hour. Which is like a Chick-fil-A worker, as they said. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not
rough.
Even,
that's like $100. That's a whole game is like 5 hours long. Like you're getting paid $100 to go out and cheer.
And have your hips split apart.
No, literally. Well, that's the thing with the Ozempic is like, can they even do it? I mean, they do have to be very physical. Mm-hmm. And like Ozempic like really eats away at your muscles. So like, I wonder if they even can be on it or if like it's smart for them to be on it because they can't fall into the splits like that on Ozempic. They'll break their legs.
Oh, I don't think they're looking at long-term situation. They're like, we need a quick fix here because we've got a game against Philly in 2 weeks.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense.
Well, it underscores their role not just as performers, but advocates for long overdue labor rights. And again, all hail Jada and Armani, because I would hope that the rest of the NFL teams better take a look. You better be paying these girls.
Yeah.
I wonder if the other NFL teams you're expected to have a job too.
Well, that's the one part where it was like, whenever they were like, a lot of the girls they become influencers. And I'm like, yeah, like, duh. And Judy was like, but we like that makes you guys so special that you have other jobs. I was like, that's so low. Everything about that is so loaded and complex.
Can you imagine if you were like a dentist or like a scientist, and then you're like, gotta go, guys. I've got a 4-hour practice tonight.
Yeah. Remember our girl, Anisha? Was it Anisha? Remember the dentist, the orthodontist that she was like, I am like pulling a kid's teeth out, but like I have to do this soon so I can like go to the camp and like try to get my kicks better.
Yeah. But
I'd be like, hello, can you like can you like make my teeth right and not like worry about this?
But then I hope that the show increased her visibility because I remember she did like Bollywood dancing. I hope that she's like killing the game right now.
No, yeah. I want her to be doing something good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's so, yeah.
Lots of dramatic moments. Obviously, we mentioned the uniform try-ons, heartbreaking cuts. Dayton, how are you feeling back about that? I feel like her mom pushed her to try out and she wasn't.
She wasn't good. And yes, they showed every single time that she messed up. So I'm sure that like, that was like every one of them have those moments, but they've showed every single time that Dayton like wasn't right. But like, she didn't have the charisma. She didn't have you know what I'm saying? Like when I saw her, I didn't see Kelly and Charlie who were like, I'm like, these girls are stars. They were robbed. How dare they? You know what I mean? Not put them on for the first season.
Yeah.
Dayton, that was not what I saw from her.
I feel like Dayton in her real life is going to be a COO of a company. Like she has that kind of personality.
I know. And she doesn't, after so many years of wanting to be on the team, just give up. Like, why do you care? You know?
Yeah. And your dream when you're 12 is not always the same when you're 26.
And like, guess what? I never wanted to do anything that had to do with my parents. You know what I mean? Like, like the fact that it's like her mom's, I mean, I never forget. I mean, Victoria and her mom moving into New York and her mom literally being like, my life is over. I should just walk out into traffic is like,
yeah.
You know?
I think that they are just like, for the first problem is anybody associated with the team, Kelly needs to sit down and be like, the day one of your job and say, I know that your daughter's 5 right now, but I need to come clean with you. This does not mean that your kid has a chance on this team.
Like never. Like ever.
Yeah.
Like look me in the eyes, like grab them by the hands, like look them and like pull them close. And like look me in the eyes and repeat after me, like never. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's a heartbreaker because they're around the team all the time. That's another thing. This would be my life coaching moment. If I were brought in as a consultant for the coaches or the staff, I'd say, I know that you work here and I know you love your job and I know you want to hang out with these people all the time. But your children need to see you have a life outside of this show because the only way they're going to feel like they can connect with you is to talk about the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. And if they've got a soccer body, you're doing them zero favors by pushing them to try to be a dancer on this team.
Yeah. Yes.
Period. End point. Thank you. Where's my book deal?
Yeah, there we go. Okay, should I have so many notes. Should I just go through some of them? These are from like a week ago, so I'm laughing because I forgot what I wrote and it's very funny.
The girl about the vegetables?
Jenna was robbed. Remember the one Jenna that was so pretty? She was robbed. She should be on the team. That's all justice for her. I would love in season 3 for her to come back and do a Kelly and Charlie and win.
Yeah.
I said Charlie and Kelly are always mic'd up versus our new rookies. You can tell that they always have like they knew they were following Charlie and Kelly and they were right to do so. And I loved watching it, but they always have a mic on and no one else does, which I love.
By the way, since you've worked in reality TV and you've been around all of these casts, because they're always mic'd up, is there a level of security that they have? Is there an opportunity for them to be obnoxious with, like, when they're looking at the girl that doesn't have a mic even remotely around them, like, got to go to work. You know, they're always following us. We're real important.
Yeah, I feel like it's like, but coming in a second season and like for Kelly and Charlie to be coming back, it's like makes sense. I feel like they would understand that it's like about them because it is.
But if you're a rookie and you have a mic like lodged up your stuff every day, are you looking at the other rookies like, big deal over here, keep getting the mic put on my clothes?
Maybe. But I feel like they didn't show that many other rookies. They had those few like blonde-haired ones. Did you notice that Anna Kate wasn't even barely shown in the season?
Yeah, I feel like people were saying to me that she knows West from Summer House and there's some sort of like connection, if not romance. Maybe she was on the show and she's like, you know what, I can put myself through this training regimen or I can just enjoy the fruits of my labor as a influencer and TV star. But
like we still get Reese in our little in spurts, which I wrote. I'm back in on Reese. I'm back in on Reese. I'm back in on her. She was. I'm not. And I'm going to tell you why. And I think I'm going to change your mind. Remember, there was that subplot where one cheerleader leaked the squad's internal pay raise discussion, which was a confidential meeting. I wasn't
spearheaded by our wonderful
bring
women,
it up yet.
Jada and Armani, about pushing for better wages. Well, 5 of the 6 episode later hint that Reese might have been the one who snitched to management, undermining the group effort.
But is that real or are we just saying that?
I think that could be real because she presents to me as somebody who's a
snitch. Yeah, she is.
Follower.
She is. Yeah, 100%.
Also,
and
she's like very diligent with her Bible studies. Like she probably has like a whole regimen.
No, and she's a teacher's pet with the two of them because she's like exactly what they want. The like white, dark hair. Like loves Jesus. That she's like quintessential.
Yep. And also it's season 2 and she may be feeling like I may not be as important anymore. And how do I reclaim my favoritism?
Yeah, but there wasn't much to say with her. But when I did see her and the husband doing Instagram videos, I was like, okay.
No, I did like that too. And I did think maybe he isn't the colossal dork that I thought he was.
No, I like him. Like it's fine. I mean, they're fucking loser weirdos, but like I'm into it. I don't know. But if she is the fucking mole, I'll fuck her shit up. Like I'll go against her virtually on the internet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like we need to know who the mole was also. Can there be an investigative Can we do an investigative podcast where we interview all them and find out who the mole is? Because you know they fucking know.
Yeah, but by episode 3, when we get somebody who was just kicked off the team last year, they'll just reveal it to us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
okay,
like,
good. Well,
we just find out. I need to know who it was because that person is like dead boots, like on site, like I need to know who the mole is.
There was one girl that's a dancer. Her name is Kay Diana. I spent an inordinate amount of time thinking about that name. Kaydianna.
She the one that like left the team?
I feel like, I don't know. I was so... Is this what happens in the South where you take 2 names, wedge it together with no space?
Because it's pronounced like Kadiana or something like that. Like it's like not even K Diana, but like that's how it's spelled.
Yeah, there's not one space in between those 2 names. So could you be Emily Grace and wedge it together with not a space in between? Emily Grace.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maria Victoria, no space. I spent too much time thinking about that.
I wrote Kelly's dad crying on FaceTime. I'm also crying because I feel like I am Kelly's dad when they get in. And I wrote, I'm so proud of Kelly and Charlie.
Oh, Kelly,
like whenever they win. And then I said, how dare they show us this entire scene of them FaceTiming their families? I'm so emotional. When they end up getting into the thing, it's like the best moment ever.
At first, I thought you meant Kelly, the coach. I was like, I felt like Judy, this was her Kelly, season to shine.
Yeah, it was Judy's season to shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned for her health. Are you?
I know. Yes. I don't like it.
And I felt like she was basically intimating that her kids won't let her quit because they like all the stuff that comes with it.
The families of all these people are fucking monsters, by the way. And like Jada's dad or whatever, who would like never was with her ever, and then comes up and is like, and is talking to the producers and all this stuff. I was like, don't do it. Like he really was trying to do something, and I was like, real. If I would have been there, I would have been like, no. Like I would have been so mean to him and like so nice to Jada, and been like slamming him like off on her behalf for just him being a fucking piece of shit. to her
But then you're
whole
like
life.
winking at the mom who's been
Yeah, then the
through
mom
hell
was
and
like,
back.
got you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And
Yeah,
then I'm like,
we
yeah,
get it.
but
We
you
read
weren't
it. We see
there.
what you've
Like,
been dealing with. Yeah.
I'd be so annoying about to the dad. I'd be like, yes, like when she was little and you weren't there. Like, and be like so mean to her.
Let's bring up that time that you weren't there for your child.
Yeah, because you were imprisoned. Yeah,
Yes.
for being a fucking loser and an idiot. You know what I mean?
And
Whenever
now she is
your
this
family has worked
advocate.
their way out of like the hole that you created for them. Yeah.
Her body,
That's so
by the
horrible.
way. She should be a model. She must be
she be
6 feet tall.
At bare minimum, like a fitness model. But I'm saying even runway. Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
I'm
I think
saying
she's runway.
Like runway.
Right.
Like she doesn't need to do a job. Like her being like a nurse at an injecting place. Like you could be on like a Fabletics like billboard like tomorrow. And now you're famous. So you really could be on it.
You know what I worry though? Some designer is going to have her for the runway and they're going to go, and you have to do one of those hip replacement surgery moves at the end of the runway.
And she's like, no. She's like, no, you don't pay me enough for that.
She's also like, I'm in a sequin gown. Well, how does that make sense?
She's like, I'm not doing it. She's like, they're just going to like rip off my body. Okay, I have...
Armani, on top of being this advocate for fair compensation, also has alopecia. Love her.
I wrote Armani should just not wear a wig because she's gorgeous without
She's
it.
gorgeous.
She's so beautiful.
Stunning.
And then I wrote, I'm so proud of Armani. Obviously, Hassan and I were like weeping whenever she was performing Thunderstruck with no wig on and we saw the whole thing. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Again, whenever they just want to give us a full performance, it's always at the exact right time.
I agree.
It's just done so fucking well. And she's crying the whole time. They're all crying for her. Kelly and Judy are crying. You're crying. Like everyone's crying. It's so beautiful. It's like, God, the show's so fucking good.
Also, everyone at those games is there to see them. Cowboys suck last season. I mean, they're there to see the dancers.
Oh, yeah. My notice when they do the first game and they say that there's way more people. I love that there's DCC fandom at the games. It's like, and not for nothing. It's like Kelly and Judy, like you did this.
The spreadsheets, all the stuff they have to do behind the scenes for this job.
I said speaking of vacations, I said they're going to the Bahamas so that they sign their contracts. But I think they signed them way before. They signed them like way before. But I think, again, like Kelly and Judy had the power to like go bring them on a vacation and like have fun. And I think that like, you know what I'm saying?
You know what though? This is what companies do because I've been through this.
Oh, yeah. They're like, we're not going to give you more money. We're going to
take you on a trip.
That we get a trade out for and spend no money on. Yeah. I was like, we've seen this on TV already. We know that they're DTF down to film and they 100% let them come here for free because they're filming the show. And like,
so they're saying to these women, we love you so much. Don't ask us about money, but we are going to take you on a trip. Don't ask us for money. And it's a free trip that they get. Am I wrong?
I do think that they did sign their contracts already before this. Like that, it wasn't like it was way too late in the game for them to do it. But they 100% were bringing them there.
Is that why they were knocking them back?
Over.
Yeah,
let's
they're
smooth
like,
all this
God,
over.
We signed that. Okay.
Yeah, which I think is good. And then also I wrote Kelly's macrame dress. Oh my fucking God, that she wore the most pedestrian, like a woman going to the Outer Banks of North Carolina dress you've ever seen in your life in the Bahamas, and it was incredible.
I did think that she was a little bit.
Thing I've ever seen in my
She was having a little good time, and I thought that woman probably really deserves it.
Yes, and like they are monsters in ways, but then it's also like their job to be monsters. And again, we'll talk about this again, but like I think they went to the people and they were like, "We are going to be crucified if we don't give them more money. Like, you need to do this." And then that Charlotte like brought the checkbook out and was like, "What do we do?" They're like,
she went to her father, who's in like a cryogenic chamber right now.
Like literally was like on bed rest. But I don't even think she needs to go to him. But she was probably like, "What number looks incredible in a like New York Times article headline?" And 400% raise looks great. And then they wrote that down and then they did it.
This is when I think family-owned businesses can be infuriating because here Kelly and Judy have worked for this organization for what seems like 87 years. I mean, they don't look it, but
collectively
they have like put the work in. And then she's just the daughter of the owner and just like has all this perceived power.
And doesn't know anything about anything. Yeah.
Nothing.
What a surprise. Nepotism at its finest.
Yeah. Does she know what a toe touch is?
No.
Does she have any understanding?
Has she ever done a split?
Not only that, does she understand how hard it would be for all of these young women to have full-time jobs and then to do this on top of it? Or she just assumes that it's easy because she doesn't know any different because she's had a life of luxury?
No, she doesn't know anything about anything.
Yeah, this is a hard week for that lesson coming off the Sanchez Bezos wedding.
Yeah, it is.
You know.
Okay, I love that they're using the fame of the show to get more money, girl power.
Yeah.
Whenever they're like in that Zoom. P.S. I wrote, Amanda not being booked on these things is textbook retaliation. She should sue them, honestly.
Yep.
It is textbook retaliation.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the one that was like, guys, like, I won't show up. I'll walk out, blah, blah. Like, she's the one on that Zoom that was leaked probably by Reese that said, like, she was like, I'll quit. And they were like, we have to fuck her shit up.
Right.
And then I wrote, I'm glad Amanda said all that to Kelly and Judy's faces. Whenever they went down and they were like, I don't think this is fair. I think that you guys retaliated against me. I like really worked really hard. And because I was pushing for more thing, I was punished. And that's fucked up.
And the quivering in her voice broke my heart.
Yeah.
That was hard for me.
But I loved it. And then when they leave, I love that like whenever something doesn't go exactly the way that they want in those sit down things, Kelly and Judy are like shocked. And they're like, she goes, oh, that came out of left field. And I'm like, did it?
Did it? Yes.
Yeah, I'm like,
did it?
Did it? And also like, yeah, because someone stood up for themselves for once against you. That's why it came out of left field, you know?
I wonder how many times someone goes, I'm going to hang up this uniform, and they walk over and put it on the rack, and they have to, or they beg them, please do not leave. Or is it always like, you should be lucky?
Well, the other thing is like I wrote, one of my first notes is it's clear that Kelly and Judy aren't allowed to tell them to come out and try next year. Like whenever they have this conversation with 9 million people, like they do it every year. We watch it. I could do their speech every time. Like I could do it from seeing it so many times. When they come in and they're like, okay, we have to start making cuts. We're outpacing you. Like, you are not keeping up with this. Like, it's not your year. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not getting the dances quick enough and like, blah, blah. Like they can just give this textbook answer and then cite the reasons of what they need to work on. But when the girls are like, and I'm coming back next year and I'm going to do this, I'm going to get better, blah, blah. They are like every time a loss for words. And they can't go, yeah, come back. They never one time ask them to try out again. They always go, they look at each other weirdly. And then, because it's like, yeah, of course the girl's going to fucking go back. She like eats, breathes, and sleeps your like oxygen that you breathe out. Do you know what I mean? Like, of course this girl who worships you is going to come back and try this again. They look at each other as if it's the first time they've ever heard anyone say that ever in their lives. And then Kelly will say something like, and if you're there, we'll be there. Like, it's like she always says something that's like not her legally saying like, yes, you should try out again. Like if you try out next year and improve yourself, you could be like, she never gives them any kind of incentive that like, Kelly told me I should, because like, and I think it's legal, like, which I understand, but it's just interesting that they never talk about it because it's like, it's so clear that you can't legally say like, yes, you should come and try out next year. Because the girl will be like, okay. And then like later turn around and be like, you told me to try to come out next year and I did. And now you cut me again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, all the time and money I've wasted.
Save themselves, but like
they should just come up with a catchphrase, like, and so it is.
Yeah, sure. Which would be like infuriating if that happened. If they said that to me, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Church's Smokehouse Chicken is back, and the block already knows what's up. The signature Smokehouse rub hits every piece of that juicy half chicken with bold, smoky flavor that goes straight to the bone. Nobody else does it like Church's. Our recipe served up just for you. Get it in original or bring the heat with the spicy rub. Dial it up Texas style with a honey butter biscuit and a spicy jalapeno pepper on the side. The new dry rub has everybody talking. Lose yourself in the flavor of Smokehouse Chicken starting at $5.99. Order online or in-store only at Church's. Price and participation may vary. Tax extra. U.S. only.
The HBO original series, The Gilded Age, is back. And so is the official companion podcast.
Are you curious about how they brought Gilded Age New York to life?
I don't understand.
Which bit is not clear?
None of it is clear.
Want to know where the writers branched off from history?
Well, when you've set your mind on a thing, no one can stop you.
I take that as a compliment.
Watch or listen to the official Gilded Age podcast wherever you find podcasts.
Also, I'm going to throw these girls a bone. When they show like what the dancing was like, you know, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It's pretty basic. So the women of this organization that danced years ago, I would be infuriated. It'd be like, when you guys were dancing, all you had to do was little sachet. It was like the equivalent of the electric slide.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we're like, the Navy SEAL, like Marines, you know what I mean? Like covert operations where they have to, they do one kick and then we know a whole routine that we have to just randomly do. And
pick it up right away.
Yeah.
Like Abby from Ohio State, she practiced the same routine in college every day for 4 months. And now she's got to do like hip scap, jump, turn around, jazz, hands, and they'll change it 3 seconds later.
And then,
and get rid of her muscles too.
Yeah. And the old videos of like Judy dancing, she's just like being a whore. They're just like dancing around, like shimmying and like being like, yeah, we're like sluts. You know what I mean? It's great. Like they look incredible. They're like beautiful, but they like didn't have to do any of this stuff. Like, did they do Thunderstruck? No, right? Like when did Thunderstruck start?
They could never do Thunderstruck. Are you kidding? No way.
Yeah.
They would, Thunderstruck. Judy's day, all of those women, it would be like, okay, someone going through the routine, the music starts, and it would be like, I'm sorry, can we go back to that? A 1 and a 2,
no,
3, 4, 5.
And it'd be like a step, kick, like shuffle ball change. Like that was all it would be, not like what they do now where they have to like
throw that in,
the
they're
whole,
like, oh shit.
Where they have to like overtake the whole stadium as they're just walking out. They have to like run 100 yards, basically. If
and
you're like
unison.
The one at the end. Yes. It's like, which like most of the football players don't run 100 yards in the game.
Wait, I have to bring something up, and I don't know if you're the right person to bring this up to, but what if those costumes and like your period?
No, I thought about it a lot. Well, they're just locked and loaded with like a tampon ready to go, right? Like if they're already, like if they even remotely think it's their time.
I hope that they have some sort of situation where they can like lock that situation down. There's no dangle anywhere.
How about how they have to clean their own costumes with toothbrushes, like they're in prison. When what they should be doing, guess what sponsor they should get? A fucking dry cleaner.
What a great point.
Like one of the perks, one of the pit crew, like the pit row things. That when it's like instead of like spray tans, it can be like a dry cleaner to the stars that dry cleans their outfit after every game.
Yeah, picks it up at the apartment complex where they're all living because they make
leave it in your
cents.
locker. Leave it in your locker.
We'll pick it up.
And they pick it up and they go do it, and then they not them scrubbing it like they're scrubbing a toilet in prison.
No, it's a great point. And also when you think about the spray tan situation, they must have to re-bleach that every time.
That's what I'm saying also.
Wow.
No, but the period, they have to be like just ready. Like if like I'm remotely even going to be near my period, like they're temped. They're padded.
Also,
they're padded.
I feel like
they're always padded with the wings. You know what I mean?
No, you can't do padded in wings. And I'm telling you this.
They're so small.
I don't know what has happened in the United States of America, but tampon strings have become longer and longer with time.
Yeah, they'll have a string hanging out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That is a small costume, so you're going to have to trim like tampon string,
tape up
or
your,
tape.
They have like tuck. They have to like tuck like in Drag Race when the
no, I know
drag queens have to tuck their penises. Mm-hmm. I've said the word penis on this podcast more times than I've ever said it ever in my life,
and that's coming from a gay man. That's true.
Okay.
Well, when you woke up this morning, did you think you would be talking about tampon strings?
I know, but it is on now. That's all I'm thinking about. Honestly, is like what happens when one of them gets their period in that costume. Okay, I have a question for you.
Did people just drive their car off the road?
Probably. But they're going to now when they say, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Is that bus driver still with us? Is he alive? I was expecting to get my scene with him and we never saw him. Remember the one that was in the hospital?
No, they would have had it at the end. Rest in peace, Rusty.
Right? Or at least been like, that was a big loss for me. Like Kelly and Judy in the interview chairs being like, that was hard. Like, you know what I mean?
Really
like I would have,
yeah.
Is he alive?
I don't know, but he's seen some things.
Remember when they went to go see him in the hospital, we were obviously crying. And then whenever it was like, they like screamed at them and they were like, some of you didn't write a card for the bus driver. Like, how fucking dare you? And I was like on a tear.
Well, I think that is a really good, we always say the small things say so much. I think that they are all on pins and needles because they never know what they're going to do to piss somebody off. It could be as small as you didn't write a card for the bus driver.
Yeah.
They don't, the first year, they must be darting those eyes back and forth. Like, well, how do we mess up?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? This is our beloved bus driver. You don't get that? How do you not get that? How are you a part of this organization and you don't get that?
I'm not. Oh God. Is he with us?
I know.
I'm upset. I just want to know that he's okay. Wherever he may be on this plane or another, I want him to just make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
Victoria and her mom take New York is incredible. Them just like being in Times Square and then the billboard coming up and her mom taking the photo of her. And then those people being like, Victoria, can we take a picture with you?
I was happy for her that she had that moment. Yeah. Acknowledgement of the work that she has done.
Incredible.
Sure. Yeah.
Me, Hassan and I were like, where does she live? We were like looking at, like when she walked out on her block, I think I know where she lives, which is horrifying that I'm like her stalker, but yeah.
Oh, so you're going to walk past the house a couple times?
I'm going to just be like, oh, didn't know you were here.
Oh my God, hey. That's so weird you're here.
And her like
right in front of your building
like,
that I Googled.
Pepper spray me in the face, rightfully so. Yeah.
Well, it looks to me from her Instagram that she is now teaching dance classes. So you guys could go take a class.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Pitball, chain, chasse,
literally. And they'll be like, why are you here?
What is that electric slide song? Do it.
To the left. Take it back now, y'all. That's what is that called? The one hop this time, brown. Two hops this time, brown. Not the Cupid shuffle. It's the
I don't know what it is.
Slide, and then the
Dewey. That's
take it back now.
Those are two different songs. You're right.
Yeah, no, and then right foot, let's stomp. The cha-cha slide. Oh my God, I'm such an idiot.
Now cha-cha slide.
I'm someone that can like watch something like a couple, like enough times.
That's amazing.
I know the choreography of it.
That is very impressive.
Yeah.
I can remember everything about your family, but I can't.
No, I know you. Yeah, your brain has different. Your brain has different things.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Okay, well, at one point, Chrissy Teigen I need Chrissy Teigen off my screen. I don't know why, but
like that.
She was like in like a outfit for 1 second, and I was like, I don't need to see her on this.
No, I like to see normies.
I don't ever need to see her in general, let alone now.
I like to see normies. The girl that never ate a vegetable in her whole life.
That was incredible.
Wow, that's crazy.
No, never eaten a raw vegetable, she said.
Oh, well, that's a texture
not
thing.
As bad. Not as bad, but still just like, huh?
Yeah.
And also don't admit this. Like,
well, no, they don't care because they're like, well, if that means you're eating air, we're good.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah, they're like, yep, check. They're like, get her in here. They're like, we all like her. They all remember when the guy.
You don't like food?
Up,
Perfect.
The one guy stood up and raised both of his hands as like when they were raising their hand to see who would be in and who wasn't. That was like what they all did for her.
Yeah.
Okay. At one
what
point,
if that was like, by the way, my name's Kate. I'm from Westchester, Pennsylvania. I've been a lifelong dancer and I don't actually enjoy food. Are they like, put her up to the front?
Yeah, front row, middle of the triangle.
But I can't do the cha-cha swing.
At one point, Kelly, the coach Kelly is like from Weehawken, New Jersey, Kelly V or whatever, and is like, I should get a key to the city of Weehawken. I like put Weehawken on the map, and my note in all capitals is Kelly is never getting a key to the city. Kelly from Weehawken deserves a key to the city, which I will go to the mayor's office when I'm back home and go say that to them because she does deserve it.
Do you think Kelly's going to move back to Weehawken or she's going to live in Dallas the rest of her life?
I mean, Weehawken's always there for her.
Yeah, she might circle back.
Maybe, but the people that grow up like in New York area, like they leave a lot and they go to different parts because they're like, I've done this. Like this is how I grew up. Like I want to like have a yard for once in my life. You know what I mean? Some people like are like, no, I'm good. You know.
And the funny thing is, you're so prideful of the place that you grew up, even though you have no intention of living there again. And I speak from experience. Like if I hear somebody, at the other side of the room talking about Philly, I'm going to go talk to them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you're going to move back? I'm like, I don't have any plans to do that.
No. Yeah. Have you noticed that Charlie and Kelly, Reese comes over and is like, my girls, and is like all up in their shit. And they're like, and they take a picture with her. And then like, that's it.
Right.
Like they were all three together and then Reese kind of like did her thing and and maybe that's just because like Charlie and Kelly are bonded, but like if they're not the Three Musketeers like they were in the first season. But
I feel like some stuff's happening.
Reese really wants them to be that and they're not.
I think That's
I will say
another
it was cute.
proof.
It was cute whenever Reese was like, took the picture of the two of them in the uniforms and when they got on the team, and then she goes, "I'm going to make this my background." That was like really cute.
But is this also like when a housewife just is like first season, like they're the darling, and the other housewives are like, okay, girl, it's not your show.
Yeah,
shut up.
got it. Yeah, like, sure. Yeah.
And then it's never the same.
Yeah. But like Kelly and Charlie are like bonded.
Yeah.
Hardcore. I wrote, this is their legacy, 400% raise.
Yeah.
Like that, this is their legacy. The end of this was very uplifting. And I felt it was very, especially now with everything that's going on in the world, like it was very like, look, we can do something. You know what I mean? If we like raise our voices and like we say this, like it actually like did make, and like she was like, this will alter the way that this goes forward forever. And I was like, that's really great.
And again, superb filmmaking. All these stories that they chase, the way it's filmed, the cinematography, the music, the selection, scene selection, all of it is so beautifully done.
And I loved the shots of them taking their makeup off at the end.
Yes.
It was incredible.
I thank you for reminding me. That was really poignant.
Like, what a fucking good idea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like for them to just be taking all their makeup off and rub it all off in those, like, can you see the makeup wipe and it's literally like black like from like all their makeup, and then them just be barefaced in that bright white light was so good.
And I have to say, if they had done that the first season, it wouldn't have been as poignant.
No.
Yeah. I hope that they felt emboldened by that.
Yeah, they should. And also they're all so pretty. Like,
I know.
Like they got here because they're pretty. So it's like, it's not like like us doing it and then people like screaming bloody murder when they see us with the makeup. Do you know what I mean? Like they're already so gorgeous. So it's like not, it's like not upsetting. Like versus like,
they're not going to have
if
like
Judy
nightmares.
did that, it would be like a horror movie. I'm like, what is this, Hereditary? Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of hard, that culture where you get accustomed to wearing all the layers of makeup.
No, yeah.
I mean, my mom used to say, make sure you're careful about how much makeup you put on, because if you stay over a man's house and you wake up in the morning and you don't have makeup on, you want to make sure you look like the same person.
Yeah. Remember in like, did you ever watch Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon?
No.
In the first season, she like cracks her blinds just enough so that the light in the morning will come on her face. Like will like shine in on her. So she takes all her makeup off and then like sleeps with like a mask and like rollers in her hair. Yeah. And then her husband's asleep the whole time. And then she wakes up early and then goes in the bathroom and like puts all of her makeup on and then gets back in the bed and then he wakes up.
Yeah. So
it was like such a good scene to show that she like does so much just to like, and she's always in the first season, she's always like measuring her body with like a tape measure. Yeah. Like, and is like doing like the circumference of her legs and stuff like that. And it's like all the like, it's like that like 50s like housewife duties. And it was like, it's so good. Yes, that show's so incredible. You would love it.
By the way, I did post something this weekend that lots of people were fired up about, asking like, are you interested if the housewives are ordering food? And you wrote me and said it's character development. I agree with you, but I also think they do it too much. Like maybe once in a while, but I feel like every single housewife, it's like, hi, I know you've never been here before. Welcome to Bob's Ribs. What would you like?
Well,
and sometimes it takes too long, and I'm like, this wasted like a good 2 minutes.
This is another thing: is that's a way that we can film at these restaurants. Is that you say we always, if the person comes, the way to get the name in of the restaurant is to say, "Hi, welcome to blank. What can I get for you?" So they can say, so that we can guarantee in a way, not on paper, but in.
Yeah.
Like that's a way to give the restaurant a little bit of hype because.
Yeah.
And it makes it's about the relationship with the locations. I think a little bit of that is what it is. But it is character. There is so much of Bravo that like, is like, why do they do this? And it's like, it literally just is those little character development things where it's like.
Give me another example.
A lot of the like scene before the scene stuff, like whenever it's like, okay, someone's coming to someone's house, but we're with them in their kitchen and they're just like unloading their dishwasher and like something funny happens. It doesn't need to exist. There's no reason for that to see that, but just to see who this person is at rest as they're like puttering around their house is like very telling.
Yeah. I always think it's very telling how they talk to not their own family, but the other people that kind of orbit their houses. Like their friends.
Yeah, like
their
all their
kids'
little side
friends or something.
characters. Yes. Like all of that is all character development too. It's like,
Yeah.
even like, think of like with Kyle, I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but like Kyle, like Glenn, the party planner with Kyle.
Right.
Remember, he was there forever. We like know who he is. If I saw him on the street, I'd be like, Glenn,
Hey,
the party
Glenn.
planner. Like, and that's like something where it's like, oh, this is like the person in this. That's a huge part of these shows. And especially like when you're starting a new, if you're like doing a new one of these, is like, who are these other little side characters in your world that are like your little like bag, like, you know, ragtag group of people. And that also like sells because you see who they surround themselves with. It, like,
Do you
make
think,
it,
do you think there are a lot of people that are like, okay, so if you film me, you know, you're going to have Rosa, who is my assistant, who also changes the tires and
100%.
also, okay. Yeah. Well, any last feelings about Dallas?
It's so good. I'm going to make you connect me with the creator because I want to interview him and just talk to him about how good the show is. I don't know what we'll talk about, but something like that.
Yeah. Well, they're filming right now.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Can I go work on it?
I think you should.
Would he have me? Do you think?
Probably. I think
Like, I
you have
would
been
love
such
to
a
go work on
proponent
that.
of the show from the very beginning. Like you should be working on that show.
Although I have to scrub all these episodes off of the internet.
Why?
Because then I have to show up to, and then Kelly's like, you say that I'm a bitch and I'm mean and blah, blah, blah.
And I wear like a
Yeah, and I have
crochet
sun damage. Yeah, like they
dress.
You say I'm a bitch and you fucking hate me and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I have to like, we have to like, if that happens, I have to like go dark. And like,
Well,
not.
maybe you need to find some other adjacent world that they could use for a show, and then you could start off clean, like the world of country line dancing, or I don't know what's some sort of
that
dance
sounds like
adjacent.
too much work for me.
It's not like you don't want to do ballroom dancing because that's been so overdone, or maybe it's not. Maybe you could have a fresh opinion on ballroom dancing.
Regardless, it's just so good. The way it's done is so good.
I don't,
Cheer was so good.
I think the fact that it's this big team, you know what do? You go to another team. Because people are going to get sick of the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders after like season 3. You got to go to a different team.
Sure.
It's going to be like HBO Hard Knocks. So what's the next team? I mean, obviously for my own bias, I believe it should follow the women who dance for the Philadelphia Eagles. You could do that.
Yeah, but I want like, I don't know.
But you want like, or do you do the Rockettes?
Or the Rockettes, and we follow Victoria. Oh, that's really good.
But I don't think she's involved with the team though.
I know, but like she could go try out again and we just are with her.
Yeah. Okay.
Who knows?
That's what I submit to you. You say to Greg Whiteley, I think that we should do a show about the Rockettes. Because you know what? Now that I think about it, a couple of people wrote me and asked me, do you know if there's a documentary about the Rockettes? And there's one thing that's been on, but it's like a couple years ago and wasn't very good.
I know. I think they're really tight-lipped.
Well, so were the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders.
I know. I wonder if they would do. No, but that's not true. They did that. They did the Making the Team show for like 9 million years.
Yeah, but so
You know
did the
what I
Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. If it's done by Netflix, I think anybody would be like, let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you could do the making of, like, if you had like a musical, like, I don't know, what's a good musical where there's like enough of like a cool dynamic with all the cast, like the tryouts and I don't know, make like like a new production of something, and they follow like the making of a Broadway show.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that, and I don't even understand Broadway. Broadway, baby!
Oh my God, you they did that just so you could do this.
You know what I mean? That could be interesting.
Yeah.
But it would be really interesting if you had an actor that's coming back to be in it, and then you find out they're a monster behind the scenes.
Yeah. I don't know, whatever. I feel like he's really good at picking what he does.
I know, but also, why do we have to always change the face of television? I feel like we have so many great ideas.
I know, I'm sick of it. That's the thing. I don't want to have any more good ideas. I just want to go and get paid and be like, here, girls, I'm here with you, you know?
Right. My dream job is I sit at a desk with palm trees around me with like a nice lunch. An assistant comes in and they're like, the people need to know what your next idea is. And I write it on a piece of paper and then I pass it across and then I get my money.
and then you continue to eat your lunch. And then you get your money. Yeah. Dear God. Well, that's a beautiful dream fantasy that you just made for yourself.
I know. Well, what are you working on your podcast this week?
What are we working on?
Didn't you just do Katie Holmes?
we just did Katie Holmes. That was a really good episode. A lot of people really liked it. This week we're fixing Megan Fox. And it's with Beyond the Blinds. And it is a
I love them.
Hilarious episode. We do go back to a little film called Night Teeth a million times. And I've still never seen it, but just be ready. Buckle up, everyone.
Buckle up. Okay.
And that's what we're doing.
Okay,
we just did Katie Holmes, and then we just did Anna Delvey 2 weeks ago. Paula Abdul with Margaret Josephs. We just did Lin-Manuel Miranda, Hilary Duff. Pride is over now, basically, but you know, Hilary Duff.
Paula Abdul, God bless.
Yeah,
I love her. I've tried to interview her, but she's like a moving target. Like she's never sitting down.
Yeah.
Wowsies. Yeah. Okay, well, tell everybody where they can follow you.
You can find me at the Chris DeRosa, and you can find my show at Fixing Famous People.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
I want to thank my great guest, Chris DeRosa, and remind you, again, make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast, and make sure you also click the subscribe button at katecasey.substack.com. Join the Facebook group, Reality Life with Kate Casey. Make sure you get those bonus episodes on Apple Podcast and on Patreon, patreon.com/Kate Casey. And follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at KatCaseyCA, TikTok, it's Kate Casey, and Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky at KKC, and check back tomorrow for an all-new episode.
Shopify's point-of-sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. Need a fast and secure way to take payments in person? We've got you covered. How about card readers you can rely on anywhere you sell?
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep, that too. Want one place to manage all your online and in-person sales? That's kind of our thing. Wherever you sell, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.